Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, for those of you who geek out on the channel regularly, one, thank you very much. And number two, you know that there are a few things that we try to stay really true to around here, and one of which is we try to keep things right down the middle. I think there are plenty of channels out there that will tell you how to think, and if that's what you're looking for, then you'll have that. But what we try to do here at Washington Gun Law is just give you all of the stuff to think about. We've been spending a lot of time lately on the First Amendment. Why? Well, suddenly there's this newfound interest from the political left in the First Amendment. It then gave us the opportunity to do a couple of different videos to kind of break down how the First Amendment works and, more importantly, how it doesn't work. Well, sometimes things change rather significantly, and when it comes to the case of Jimmy Kimmel, that's exactly what's occurred. But it would be hypocritical of us to have done these videos and not done a follow-up video to explain what's happened here. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about, yes, this too is how the First Amendment works. Okay, America, we are talking about Jimmy Kimmel, but what we're really talking about is the First Amendment, how free speech works, and more importantly, how free speech works in a free market society. Okay, now, we've already covered what Jimmy Kimmel did. We already covered what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. And then news broke on Wednesday that ABC was going to bring his show back. All right, that had many on the political left, suddenly newfound fans of the First Amendment, applauding, and it had many on the political right rather upset. However, just because ABC was willing to re-air the show, Nexstar and Sinclair, which we'd previously covered, that owns literally about 75 ABC affiliates nationwide, they were not willing to re-air the show, and they released public statements saying that they would continue to preempt Jimmy Kimmel's show. That, of course, had many people on the political left suddenly saying that this was a violation of the First Amendment, which it is not. And it is not for the simple reason that this was not government doing anything. This was a privately owned broadcast company making what they believed was the wise business decision. Then news broke on Thursday that Sinclair was actually going to lift its ban of Jimmy Kimmel's show and it would start airing it again Friday night. Sinclair owns the ABC affiliate here in my backyard, Seattle, Washington. Now, this has many people again that lean more conservatively screaming bloody murder, saying that they caved. They caved. And the truth of the matter is they did cave. But what they caved to was public pressure. And that is exactly how the First Amendment works. Sinclair's official statement on this decision reads, "Our objective throughout this process has been to ensure that programming remains accurate and engaging for the widest possible audience. We take seriously our responsibility as local broadcasters to provide programming that serves the interest of our communities while also honoring our obligations to air national network programming." Okay, and yes, can we in fact debate the accuracy and whether or not this is really catered to a wide range of audience? Of course we can. But this is their public statement. But then they go on to state, "Over the last week, we have received thoughtful feedback from viewers, advertisers, and community leaders representing a wide range of perspectives. We have also witnessed troubling acts of violence, including the despicable incident of a shooting at an ABC affiliate station in Sacramento. These events underscore why responsible broadcasting matters and why respectful dialogue between differing voices remains so important." So what Sinclair is saying is, hey, yeah, a lot of people, whether they be viewers or other companies that they're doing business with, exercise their right to free speech. And Sinclair, of course, and ABC as well, having the choice to run their company however they believe will make it most profitable to their shareholders, again, has the right to exercise the speech that they want. Now, this is interesting because I want you to also consider what else Sinclair stated here. "In our ongoing and constructive discussions with ABC, Sinclair proposed measures to strengthen accountability, viewer feedback, and community dialogue, including a network-wide independent ombudsman." All right, so is that why Sinclair is willing to re-air the show? Because ABC said, hey, these are great ideas, let's get that implemented right away. Not really, because the statement also reads, while ABC and Disney have not yet adopted these measures and Sinclair respects their right to make those decisions under our network affiliate agreements, we believe such measures could strengthen trust and accountability. Now, for those of you who are screaming bloody murder out there that somehow or another this was an act of government, which it was not. It was not. And yes, I agree that the FCC chair probably should have kept his mouth shut. But Sinclair's own statement acknowledges that this was an independent business decision. They state, our decision to preempt this program was independent of any government interaction or influence. Free speech provides broadcasters with the right to exercise judgment as to the content on their local stations. While we understand that not everyone will agree with our decision about programming, it is simply inconsistent to champion free speech while demanding that broadcasters air specific content. So, America, this is actually another example of the exercise of free expression in a free market society. We can critique ABC's decision. We can critique Sinclair's decision. I'm sure Nexstar is soon to follow, okay? And we can critique their decision as well. But let us remember that, again, the way free speech works in a free market society is for the consumer to dictate what they want. And so you have every right in the world, if you so desire, to boycott ABC, to boycott Sinclair programming, or just to boycott Jimmy Kimmel. And of course, they have every right in the world to determine whether or not those boycotts mean anything to their bottom line. Ultimately, these are privately owned for-profit businesses. And so what is ultimately going to motivate them is what they believe best assists the bottom line. And that is why Americans have far more free speech power than they ever realize as the consumer. So I get it. Many of you are not happy. Many of you think he ought to be taken off the air. I'm not arguing with any of those points. I've never watched the show one day in my life. I have no desire to start doing it right now. But free speech got Jimmy Kimmel in trouble. Free speech is what got Jimmy Kimmel suspended. And free speech is what's got Jimmy Kimmel put back on the air. And that, my friends, is exactly how free speech is supposed to work in a free market democratic society. Okay, listen, hopefully we never have to talk about this again and we can go back to the Second Amendment. But if you do got any other questions about this or anything else like we normally cover, you should know how to get a hold of Washington Gun Law by now. But if you don't, down there in the description box, if you got an idea for a video, click on that link. Let us know all about it. If you want to subscribe to the monthly newsletter, the ability to do that is down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we normally talk about here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.